Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome back to the Grateful Gab Sports Huddle. I'm your host, Grateful Dave. Got my wonderful co-host in studio, my cousin Papa Dennis. What's good, fam? Make sure y'all go check out my cousin. Newest episode dropped yesterday, just Unconventional Podcast. I was just tuning in to it, so I'm going to be finishing that up after the show today. But looking forward to see what type of information he put out. Very energetic. What I did here was that Jazz won an award, right? So shout out to Jazz. Much love, congratulations. And just looking forward to y'all continued success in your forming journey. So, I'm looking forward to get some shipments on the front porch of some nice fresh vegetables and fruits and stuff like that one of these days. So
We'll work
shout
it
out
out.
to Lots and Heritage Farm. But yeah, man, we gonna get into it today. Got the daily verse coming and then the sports water rundown. So really looking forward to today's episode. It's gonna be good. It's always an enjoyment when my cousin's in studio with me. We have a lot of great insight and information to give, a lot of give and take. And that's what we do here on the Sports Huddle. So this is the Grateful Gab Podcast. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to YouTube or whatever platform you check out my podcast. Make sure y'all go check out my cousin as well. Just Unconventional. Follow him. Make sure y'all touch those notification buttons so y'all can be notified when we drop episodes. But let's get into it. Daily verse and then the sports Huddle rundown. Excuse me.
That camera was clicking for a second.
Daily verse for the date of January 24th, 2026, derives from the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 16, and it states as follows. Pay constant attention to yourself and to your teaching. Persevere in these things, for by doing this, you will save both yourself and those who listen to you. Amen. And again, it's from the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 16. I was reading this last night, and this really hit home to me, right? Because I come here and my platform is about spreading the good news, right? Giving wisdom and informing others of the information Jehovah has given me through the Bible. But it's important for me as well to make sure that I'm doing these things the best of my ability, right? Because if I'm looking to help someone else along the road or change their life for the better, I got to make sure I'm constantly doing that as well, right? Being a hypocrite is not one thing I'm a fan of, and that's what I don't want to be. So I really appreciate this reminder to make sure I pay constant attention to myself, to what I'm doing, how I'm teaching about Jehovah. So I really appreciate that reminder this morning, Jehovah, and I'm gonna do my best with it. So, not daily verse. Getting into the sports Huddle rundown. So, NBA, not NBA, NFL championship weekend is coming up. Looking forward to those matchups. AFC, NFC championship games tomorrow. The NFL coaching carousel, NFL MVP, ringside coverage, NBA season, Unrivaled League, National Hockey League, NCAA men's and women's top 25. So let's get into it as we look ahead to the championship weekend. There's a lot going on. Winners, right? Reasons why they win and who we think will be the Super Bowl champion for this year. So, NFL championship weekend, Cuz and I recap the divisional Thursday, right? Just in what it tells, up and down. I mean, we talked about the performance from CJ Stroud, who was not good. We talked about we talked about that narrative that will be around Josh Allen. If he didn't play well and he lost, he didn't play well and he lost. Right. So it was a lot going on in the divisional round this past weekend. Bo Nick's injury, right? I know that touched you, a little bit, what I mean, just because of, the
I'm just that caught me off guard to see that 5 minutes after the game is over.
Me too. I thought it was a hoax, but it was true. But I was talking about Stidham and the opportunity he has in front of him. So it's been a lot going on over this last week leading up to the championship weekend, but it's here now. Right, games will kick off tomorrow. 3 p.m. game will belong to the AFC Championship, if I'm not mistaken. That game is tomorrow. Yep, at 3 p.m. on CBS. Broncos Patriots. Right. The two top seeds in the AFC. Right. Broncos again without their starring quarterback Bo Nix, but yet still have a fully mostly healthy team around them. Right. Defense is playing well. Sean Payton at the head of the team. Right. One of the premier coaches of our era for sure. And then on the other side of the ball, the Patriots. Right. It's one of the premier franchises of our decade, of our era in the last, 20 plus years. So,
Mhm.
both of these teams have not met since the 2015-2016 AFC Championship game when it was Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. And we know how that turned out, right? I believe that's the year the Broncos
Yeah.
went and dominated in the Super Bowl. I think they played the Seahawks, if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, they played Carolina.
They played the Panthers that year. Okay, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
still won. They won either way. But so yeah, and then we could potentially have another Broncos Seahawks Super Bowl because that happened a couple years ago too, right? I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I
I
think it
do
was
believe that happened. I think
yeah.
no, I think that did happen.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks I think that's when they got dominated in the game, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm gonna
They
have to
got
look.
robbed.
I'm gonna look into it.
Was it I wanna say it was Super Bowl 50? Was it? Maybe not. I don't know, but
No.
it's gonna be some good games though. A lot of people have been down on the Broncos just because of the injury to Bo Nix. And before I continue as well, shout out to my sponsors, Sugarcane Sweet Shop in Riverside. Thank y'all for y'all love and support. Shout out to my sponsors. But yeah, so Bo Nix injury really, a lot of people seem like it derailed the Broncos. But as I was saying Thursday, I feel like everything is in their corner, right? You got home field advantage. You still have a pretty solid team on both sides of the ball, right? The quarterback Stidham, he just has to not lose the game. I think Sean Payton relies on great play calling. I think he relies on the run game. I think the defense, know they have a big task in front of them. They try to make Drake May uncomfortable because we see it's possible because he didn't play particularly well against the Texans either. Yeah, that defense is
Nah, he had a
different.
couple fumbles.
So this is an opportunity for the Broncos defense to step up as well. They're not a bad defense. They got great outside weapons and DB. Their front seven get out the quarterback. They aggressive on the run game. Right? So it's going to definitely be a great chess matchup, right? Again, two coaches, right? Mike Rabel, his defense, they click and they playing high level football at the right time. Again, Sean Payton, he's going to have a master class of play calling tomorrow. So it's really going to come down to who's going to execute the most. And I've been thinking about this over the last couple of days because I initially picked the Patriots to win. I said, well, the Patriots going to win because they don't got Bo Nix, blah blah blah. But I think I'm honestly leaning towards the Broncos just because of the things that they're able to do. Like I said, Sean Payton and his ability to put guys in position to make plays, his defense, home field advantage, right? The backup quarterback not a slouch. You know what I mean? It's not like they got him off the street. He can't play football. So I just think as the stage get higher for Drake May, the pressure's on him more and more to try to bring some home. The shoes he's trying to fill with Tom Brady. They haven't had a quarterback like this since Tom Brady was gonna win, and all these different factors. I just think he has to really play almost a perfect game to have the Patriots win. And I think it's possible for him to have a high percentage completion rate and those type of things. But I just think the Broncos defense make them uncomfortable early in this game, and it kind of gives them advantage. But I'm taking Broncos. That's my
Dang, cuz you just making this hard for me today. You know, but I will say this. Any quarterback that hasn't played in 2 years that got a nickname already, you must be doing something behind the scenes. You just don't start calling someone Stiddy. Like Sean Payton got up there and said Stiddy gonna be ready. I'm like, wait, what? You just don't hand out nicknames to backup quarterbacks. They done did something to get that. And they still saying, no, oh, Stiddy's fine. Stiddy's going to be ready. He's calm. He's ready for the moment. So I'm like, what has been happening at training camp for these guys to feel so comfortable? And honestly, that is a good thing. And also, I want to point out that Peyton Manning got benched the year they won the Super Bowl.
wow.
Just, I don't want people to remember that about the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos were so good on defense on the other side of the ball. Peyton Manning had a terrible year, got benched, and they still won a Super Bowl.
Wow.
Now you got a backup quarterback sitting here. And another beautiful thing about this is the Broncos is 4-1 in the playoffs all time when it comes to playing the Patriots.
Mm.
That is a very interesting stat. They have a very good defense once again, probably just as good as that defense they had the last time they went to the Super Bowl, if
Mm-hmm.
not better. What else can I say? When it comes to Drake May, no, he didn't play a perfect game. I don't know if he's trying to really fill the the Tom Brady shoes, but I can see what you mean about the pressure because they haven't seen nothing like this in a very long time.
Right.
But I found an interesting and crazy stat. Well, two things here. Where Patriots are actually 8-0 on the road this season. So they actually have they have some comfort playing on the road, and they're going up north. So they have to just when they're going up to Colorado, they have to just deal with that high altitude. But when it comes to this guy right here, Drake May, the last 6 games, Drake May has been sacked 4+ times or more, and they won them all.
Mm-hmm.
5 of those games, he's had 100+ passer rating in those games that they won. Now, while the Patriots are not perfect because they give up a lot of sacks, apparently they give up a lot of sacks here. Drake May, when it comes to facing the blitz, is 15 TDs in with zero interceptions, 129 passer rating, and 9 yards per attempt. So I don't think the pressure is going to be something that's going to bother him. What I do think is that this is a New England type game to lose. All the stars are aligning for something like this in the wildest way as possible. You think about when you look at New England Patriots when it comes to significant losses, Eli Manning and backup quarterbacks.
Mm.
It's just that. Eli Manning and backup quarterbacks. So this is just one of those scenarios. It's kind of like how Stephen A. Smith had me cracking up, bro. That man was like, you better not lose this game. You can't show your face in the city if you lose to a backup quarterback. And I'm just like, well, they lost to Nick Foles in the Super Bowl, and they bounced back from that. So I think they'll be okay. But I say all this to say, I think Denver is going to win this game. I think it's going to be very close. I think the defense is good enough to carry them. I think Drake May, even though he's had an outstanding year, he still shows his youth with all the mistakes that he made. And all they have to do is just do what they do on defense, force turnovers, and all Stidham got to do, or Stiddy, I'm sorry. He just got to manage the game and not lose, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, and then back to the drawing board about the Denver Broncos. That it was actually the other way around. They got dominated in Super Bowl 48 against the Seahawks. So it was I knew one of them was involved. I just didn't know which way it was.
Somebody got beat down.
Yeah, it was the Broncos got beat down by the Seahawks. But I was thinking of the account between, like you said, that Von Miller Broncos defense. I thought that was the year they won against the Seahawks, but that was the year they won against Cam and those boys.
Yeah.
So and that was Super Bowl 50. So I was in the area, but I kind of forgot. You know, it's too many Super Bowls. It'd be, you know what I mean? If my team ain't there, I don't really remember it. So, but so that's not too many. But yeah, so I mean, you made valid points, and I always appreciate when you come here. You bring the numbers, right? The numbers. People like to hear those numbers, and the numbers are important, right? The numbers are important. You talk about the pressures and blitz, 15 touchdown to 0 interception ratio, right? Passer ratings up there, but this is a different stage now, right? This is a different stage. Like, well, I don't know what the stats was last week against the blitz, you know, or against the pressure. He was on a lot of it, you know. He was.
Oh no, I got you
he was
right
on,
here. He
he
fumbled
was on
4
a,
times, lost 2, and had an
yeah,
interception.
yeah.
So
You
they
know,
need to
so
go
he,
back and fact check that. So he actually has 1 interception under pressure. There we go.
yeah. So
Maybe
yeah,
that was a 4-man blitz because that stat right there I gave you, that's when it's 5 men or more.
Yeah, no, it probably the Texas defense, they don't got a blitz. It was just, you know, they sent 4-man at you, negative after the quarterback.
All up in your face.
But, all in your face, yeah. But no, you know, like I said, it's just and not to the point of he's trying to replace Tom Brady. No one can ever replace Tom Brady, you know. But
Not really replaceable, like you said, fill the shoes.
Yeah. When you come into New England, the standards for quarterback are set higher than any organization. Like, they have the best quarterback that ever played a game at the head of their organization for years. So like now, a gentleman like this who they see could be successful has to succeed in these moments, right? NFL MVP frontrunner, right? Second year quarterback, a guy who, you know, coming out of these blue blood schools for basketball. Now you going, you know, you coming in playing football now, you know. So what are you going to, what are you going to be? You have an opportunity to be great at a young age, right? Think about Joe Burrow's second year, right?
Boy.
AFC Championship game, went to the highs of the heights, right? They lost, you know, but he took them to the Super Bowl. That's the same thing the Chiefs, not the Chiefs, the Patriots are expecting, right? So, you know, we shall see. But like I said, I got the Broncos just because, you know, look at the confidence they have in their quarterback, and confidence breeds confidence, right? So You know what I mean? So if Steady, as they call them, right, is
Yeah.
able to go out here and play well, the team is going to feed off that. Like I said, the defense already has it in their mind that we have more pressure on us. We have to play better. We have to help our offense out, right? It's going to be new to them, trying to get in rhythm, XYZ. Defense already saying, hey, the defensive coordinator, if I'm the defensive coordinator, hey, tell us we have to execute flawlessly, be in position, right? No mental mistakes, tackle well in open space, all those type of things. This is what we're talking about, right? Force turnover when you can, punch the ball out, right? Just find any type of way to get the ball back to our offense so they can get in rhythm, right? The front four, right? Win your one-on-ones as much as possible, right? Make the quarterback uncomfortable. Anytime you can hit him in the pocket, in the means of the game, put your hands on him, right? Like all
Yeah.
these type of things. So the defense for the Broncos definitely is they're being taught that this week. And the same thing for the Patriots defense, right? Both of these defenses know that the outcome of this game is going to depend on their performance. Plain and simple. This is a prime example of defense win championships moments right here. Right. This is a prime example of that. So
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to it tomorrow, 3 p.m. on CBS. We both took the Broncos, but we shall see what happens on the field. The teams will decide the winners, and we're looking forward to it. For tomorrow, for the NFC Championship matchup, right? Somebody familiar, another NFC West championship. We talked about it. I talked about
The
it a couple
rubber
weeks.
match.
If the NFC East ain't representing the Super Bowl the last couple years, the NFC West, right? You done had the Eagles, you done had the 49ers, you done had the Rams before that, you done had who else was before that? The Eagles again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost to the
Yeah.
Chiefs. So who I mean who has been there since the Falcons? Since the Falcons have played the Patriots and what was that?
2017.
20, it was 2017?
Yeah. 2017.
2017.
2016,
After that,
2017 season.
2016. Yep.
Yeah.
After that, the Eagles played. Then who played in 19? Um, who played?
Ooh, boy.
Look, NFC South. Last time NFC South team was there was the Falcons.
Ain't that
Uh,
something?
oh
Oh
no,
no,
that's
Buccaneers.
yeah, the Buccaneers with Tom Brady. So
Yeah.
the NFC North of them, we ain't seen them. we
Yeah, I can't remember the last time they was there.
Aaron Rodgers 2010. That's what. That's what.
Dang.
So the NFC
Jesus
North,
Christ.
ever since the NFC South. It's been the NFC East or the NFC West. Nobody else. So now you have another
Two
opportunity.
best divisions in the NFC. I mean,
Yeah.
well, let's say one division and then the Eagles.
Well,
Yeah,
our division.
Everybody else coming along.
I'm gonna keep saying that our division is the only division in the whole football that every team got a Super Bowl ring. So
Yeah,
maybe
it's true.
we was
That's
the
true.
last to join the party, but it's okay. We got them though. So now we got multiple. Well, yeah.
Man, y'all got one in the 2000s. The Cowboys can't say that.
Right. I mean, yeah. We got two in the 2000s, but
Two in the 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. And with 4 appearances, by the way. So
Jesus Christ, man.
50%. You know what I mean? But
I've watched the Eagles be in the Super Bowl basically my entire life. Yeah. I've never seen the Cowboys there. That's crazy.
Yeah, me either. They suck. But yeah. So a familiar matchup tomorrow, right? We were just talking about NFL MVP favorite, right? And we're gonna talk about MVPs after this, who we think will win the MVP. But this is a guy who I think is right. Matthew Stafford's having a unbelievable season, right? I mean, for them to have those type of games, right? They were the same. Okay, the divisional game from last week was reversed. They were one play away from winning the game last year against the Eagles in the divisional round, right? Until my boy Jalen Carter is sat, snow game. But then you go back to a frigid environment in Chicago, and you one play away from winning the game again, and then this freaking bomb from Caleb Williams comes, touchdown, force overtime. Then the defense get on the field, or no, your offense get on the field, the Bears make a stop. Then the defense get on the field, your defense make the stop and get a turnover, and then y'all go down and score. Right? These moments have built them to say, okay, let's get over this hump, right? Devontae Adams never been to a Super Bowl. He's trying to get there.
He won it.
Matthew Stafford, he want to get to the Super Bowl. But boy, do they got a brick wall in front of them, boy. Because the Seattle Seahawks, them boys is not playing.
Nope.
When I tell you them boys is not playing, I mean, we talked about the Sam Darnold, right? What was Sam Darnold going to do? 12 for 17 last week. That defense, special teams, run game, I mean, it's no weaknesses in this Seattle Seahawks team, right? Like, they're just built for these moments. And this is definitely going to be a moment for them to show up to say, hey, we're built for this. And the Rams have a high mountain to climb, and it's been a journey up this mountain, right? You had a last minute drive against the Panthers first round, right? You had an overtime victory over the Bears the division round. Now you got to go up against the juggernaut in the NFC, the Seahawks, to get to plant that flag to say we're going to the Super Bowl, and this going to be their toughest game. Even if they get to the Super Bowl, this is their Super Bowl right here, because
number one scoring defense versus the number one scoring offense.
Man. So like I said, I'm just taking the Seahawks. I think it is the most complete team in the NFL right now. Right, defense is ferocious. Offense, you got weapons everywhere and young guys, right? Sam Darnold, he got healthier. They kept him upright,
Yeah.
He only threw the ball 17 times, so
and still dropped 41 points, right?
Yeah, 41 ball. Like, because I just don't know what Matthew Stafford again is in the same boat as Drake May, and I think even he has to play even more perfect for real, because this Seahawks team is going to try to beat you in every way. Run game, they dominate on the ground, right? Sam Darnold got plenty of weapons to throw the ball to. The defense fly around. They're at home. They caught the 12th man for a reason. So you're going against 12 people, not 11. They're going to make it uncomfortable for you. But the thing about Matthew Stafford, he's a veteran, right? He's been in these moments, right? But, man, does he have to play well? That offensive line, what are they going to do? The defense for the Rams have to make Sam Darnold uncomfortable. The offensive line for the Seahawks is on point. Like, so what is going to be the game plan between these two coaches, right? Like this is me personally, this is the most anticipated game of the weekend in my eyes, because you have not only both teams healthy, to the point of where both star quarterbacks are there, et cetera, but man, like, whoever wins this game is going to win the Super Bowl. That's just how I feel about it, right? This is just my take, I'm taking the Seahawks to win, but if the Rams happen to win, whoever hosts the NFC is going to represent and host the Lombardi again this year, right? And we need some back-to-back NFC champions, NFC Super Bowl champions. I mean, it's been a while, but we need that, So yeah, man, I don't know, cuz it's gonna be interesting.
Well, cuz I bet against the 49ers. I bet against the Seahawks last week, and we saw how that happened right there. I just want to say this right here. Only one team dropped more than 21 points on the Seahawks. And that was the Rams.
The Rams.
They did lose that game. When week 16, they did lose that game. They only lost that game by 1 point.
Yeah. That game was crazy, man.
Yep, they did lose that game, but they did. They're the only team to score more than 21 points on this team. Now, the first time they played in week 11, the Rams won 21-19. Second time they played, they lost 38-37. So these games are being decided by less than 3 points. I feel comfortable picking the Rams.
Boy.
These games are decided by less than 3. Winner goes to the Super Bowl. Winner is the undisputed champion of the NFC West, because this is their rubber match. So, it's divisional pride plus a chance at the Lombardi Trophy in this game right here. These games have been decided by less than 3 points. I feel very comfortable with picking the Rams. I feel like Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay and company can get it done. Sean McVay is a great coaching guru. They will figure it out. But the fact that these games have been this close, I feel very comfortable picking the Rams. Let's go.
Whew, boy. I mean, granted, it could happen, right? Matthew Stafford been having a phenomenal season, hands down MVP. There's no other way that he's not the MVP. 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, over 65 completion percentage, 4,707 passing yards. Played every game this season, right? Like, dude, 40 plus. Matthew Stafford, I remember being a young kid and he was a quarterback at Georgia. Well, he's 37, but you think he's 40?
Shoot, he's been here a long time.
Yeah, he's been around a long time.
I remember when this man was out here throwing 4,000-yard season for Detroit Lions, and they weren't going nowhere. I remember when it was him and Calvin Johnson just dominating the league, and they couldn't get anywhere.
Right. So, yeah, man, because the Rams will have to make me a believer, right? This again, there was a game from last year tasting this, but like I said, because this Seahawks team, just think about those. Think about those games from earlier this year, the way they fought, especially the last time they played. I just thought the Seahawks were out of it. They were getting dominated. I'm thinking like, yeah, the Seahawks, they lost. I ended up turning the game off.
Stafford threw up 400 yards.
I woke up the next morning, the Seahawks won. I'm like, man, what I miss? Like so this is that type of game where you think at one point the team is unless they're just dominating like the way they did the 49ers. But man, cuz I'm not saying the Rams can't win, but this Seahawks team just built different. Cause I just think there's no weaknesses. Like, you
I know
know,
they built different. They've been in my top 10 the whole season. So
yeah,
I already know they built different, man.
woo,
But bruh, both of these
woo.
teams honestly been in my top 10 the whole season. So
Yeah,
it's
but
just like, hey, I'm cool. Like I said, their games have been close. Divisional matchup. Those matchups normally are close games. I'm okay. The Rams have more firepower and they have less injuries than the San Francisco 49ers.
for
So
sure.
that's the thing right there. The 49ers just they hit that point where, all the injuries and everything piled up, and the Seahawks just said, we're gonna beat you down until you can't get back up. The
Mm-hmm.
Rams, they've been battle tested this whole playoffs. Like you
Yeah,
said,
for sure.
everything's come down to final drives for them.
For
So
sure.
if it gets everything's coming down to final drives, and we're going against a divisional rival where this game
Mhm,
may come down to the final drive. Oh yeah, I'm
mhm.
comfortable with this.
And how difficult it is for to go on the road 3 times in a row, right? And have those type of games. But this is going to be a gritty game again for the Rams.
Very
So
difficult.
how's the recovery? That's the thing I'm thinking about. Like, I just think the Seahawks are, first of all, they're more confident. I think the confidence is probably equal on both sides, but I think the Seahawks are their ability to play more physical is going to last longer than the Rams, just because of the journey they've been through, right? The physical battle, you know, all those type of things, from the potential almost upset by the Panthers, right? A shocker to them that, man, these guys can't play us. They thought it was gonna be a cakewalk, sit the starters down second half type of game. That was a last minute drive. Then you go on the road last week against the Bears and give it everything you got to get to this point. Now here you are. It's like you're at the top of that mountain. You breathing heavy. Can I take another punch? So we shall see. And the thing about that, the Rams know that, so they're gonna come out swinging. They're coming out trying to give you everything they got. And if the
Mhm.
Seahawks are able to take that and look at you, like it's like throwing bricks at a brick wall. If you're not throwing those slug stones that
A
you can,
boulder.
like the boulder, yeah, you throwing those at the wall and they ain't making no leeway. It's gonna be a hard fight. So I'm just excited. Like I said, I think either team has the potential to beat either team with familiar opponents, right? NFC West. But whoever wins this game is going to win the Super Bowl. And but if the Rams give everything they got, well, see the thing about it, if they do give everything they got and win, they have a little break. That 2 week gap to the Super Bowl. But
Mhm.
but man, and then they don't got to travel far, right? Everybody on the NFC West team. That's what I'm saying. They don't have to travel, right? The Broncos, they win, they don't have to travel too far. But the Patriots, they win, they got to travel all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's gonna be interesting, but I can say I definitely think either team that comes out in the NFC has the advantage just because of those points right there. The Seattle Seahawks, they on the West Coast, the Rams on the West Coast, so they have the advantage of rest, recovery, and travel. So looking forward to it, man. But yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks. Cuz taking the Rams. I just think, like I said, this Seahawks team is too complete. Run the ball well, can stop the run, right? Can make your quarterback uncomfortable. The reason I do give the Rams a chance because they have Matthew Stafford on the side, right? They have that dog over there. You know what I mean? The guy who's been a high level quarterback since he got in this league. You know what I mean? So um, looking forward to it, man. But yeah, so NFC Championship tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. on Fox. AFC Championship tomorrow, 3 p.m. on CBS. Looking forward to it. We got the Broncos. I got the Seahawks. He got the Rams. So looking forward to see who
Yeah.
who comes out on top tomorrow, and it's gonna be good. But it's what we're here for, right? NFL season is steady, dwindling down. We got about 3 more weeks till the final season is the final game, and the season is completely done. But still looking forward to it. So make sure y'all pull back up here on Thursday and Saturday. Make sure y'all check out my cousin, Mad Matt, on Just Unconventional Podcast. Are you enjoying today's episode? This episode of the Grateful Gab Podcast is proudly sponsored by Sugarcane Sweet Shop. At Sugarcane Sweet Shop, every dessert is made with love, creativity, and a sprinkle of sweetness. From the signature cookies and cupcakes to custom cakes for every occasion, Sugarcane is available to make your moments a little more special. Follow them on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at Sugarcane Sweet Shop to see what's fresh from the oven. And don't forget to treat yourself today. Appreciate all the love and support from all y'all who support us and follow us and find interest to be able to come here and give us your time. We appreciate y'all. So looking forward to it. We want to continue to bring great insight and entertainment and interaction and involvement here on the platform. So stay on the lookout for the continued growth for the ones who've been here. I know you've seen the growth already, but we're going to continue to do our best to keep growing. So looking forward to it. So NFL MVP, cousin. NFL MVP. Let's get it pulled up there. What you thinking? Who you got?
I personally don't understand why this is being dragged out into the postseason. I feel like
Right.
this should be done like once the regular season is over with. Voting should start right there. Voting should end that week right there. Voting should be done before the wild card. I feel
Correct.
like this should not be continued. When you start continuing stuff, you're just trying to find the reasons to give Drake May the MVP when you really want to hand it to Matthew Stafford because you see how good he's playing.
It's Drake. Like I said, Drake May resurgence is good. I think if anything, he can't even win Offensive Player of the Year because his stats don't line up with the stats of what's my boy name? Matthew Stafford. Right? You got great stats. He got a total of 4,394 yards, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. You have the same amount of interceptions as Matthew Stafford, less yards, and Matthew Stafford has 13 more touchdowns than you, buddy. Not even 13. What did I say? 47 or 41? I mean, just from that fact alone, bro. Like, and granted, I think Drake May has played well. I think he deserves a reward. Like,
What, most improved player?
most improved. There we go. Like a award like that. But MVP, no, bro. Like the stats speak for itself. Yeah, you won more games and that's cute, but football is a team
On
sport.
contrary here. See, another thing that can kind of bleak that out too. Trying to extend it with the playoffs is only showing favor to Drake May because they had a cakewalk schedule. So let's go ahead and just call it what it is because they did have a very easy schedule.
Right.
Matthew Stafford didn't have a very easy schedule. I got to deal with the NFC West, man.
Right.
I got to deal with the Seahawks and the 49ers.
He has 15 more touchdowns than him. Drake May had 31. Matthew Stafford has 46. 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And that's the regular season, not even including the postseason. So you add the postseason on there, he got 3 more touchdowns and 1 more interception. So now he has 51 touchdowns. 49 touchdowns and what, 9 interceptions?
Yep.
Like, so come on now, like, nah, man. But I just honestly think Matthew Stafford's the MVP. For him to be playing at this age, if this was Tom Brady at this age doing this, it would have been a no-brainer. It'd be a no-brainer. You know what I mean? So Matthew Stafford definitely is the front runner to win MVP. It's no other way around it. You know, I can't see Drake May leapfrogging him. Even if Drake May goes to the Super Bowl and Matthew Stafford doesn't, the MVP is a regular season award, not the
That's all I'm saying.
not the postseason award. You see what I'm saying? Like, but
It's
you
the
know,
fact
cause
they
think
keep
about
it dragging on, bro. The NBA did the same thing with the with OKC and Denver last year with the conference championship, just to decide who was going to be the MVP between SGA and Jokic. And I'm like, this is a regular season award. It should stop right there. Voting should start right when the regular season ends, and it should end a week later. It should not, like, the postseason should have no impact on that award.
And then, and honestly, it should have been Jokic again. Like, I guess they just want to give him his 4th MVP because like this kid,
Bro,
him and
no,
he
I
averaged
hate
triple
that,
double.
bro. They tried to do the same thing with AJ Wilson, bro. But it's like, yo, if they're good enough to get it, give it to them until somebody else is better.
Right, because I mean, that guy's just be different, you know. But yeah, so I'm definitely taking Matthew Stafford, and I would really be surprised if the results are any other way for sure. They had likes of Matthew Stafford, Drake May, they had Christian McCaffrey, those type of guys in the front runners for MVP. But Christian McCaffrey, he shouldn't really even be in the conversation. Maybe Offensive Player of the Year, but not MVP. You know, for him to be in the conversation for MVP after Saquon Barkley had that type of year he had last year and should have won MVP, really, it's nah. But it goes show that that favoritism. But I ain't gonna get into it. I ain't gonna get into that area of realm. But yeah, so looking forward to see how it plays out. What the awards will be announced. NFL honors the weekend before the Super Bowl. So I think this weekend coming up. Actually, I think February something coming up this weekend. It should be.
I think
It
it's
should
the
be.
following weekend.
No,
it got to be the following weekend.
Is it the day before the Super Bowl?
Is it the day before the Super Bowl? We really don't pay attention to these things.
Yeah, we really don't. We really don't pay attention to it. But whatever it is, when the results come out, we will have the information. But I know it's on the NFL honors. So whatever day they do that, they give out awards out that day. I can't recall if it's the weekend before or the day before. I don't know, but we'll have the information and we'll do more research to get y'all insight on the awareness of the awards for the NFL.
Honestly, I think more people would be interested in the MVP award and the NFL honors and stuff if the MVP itself wasn't so quarterback centered.
Right.
Like
No, for
if it
sure.
wasn't quarterback centered and they actually like looked at other players from other positions, maybe even defensive players as well, then people will probably have more interest in that.
Mhm. So, NFL carousel, right? NFL carousel. So, um, Thursday, I got breaking news about Jesse Minter becoming the head coach of the
Baltimore
Baltimore
Ravens.
Ravens. So that's the biggest news I've gotten since Thursday, and nobody else has really,
You
solidified.
didn't finish my episode.
I didn't
so
finish. I didn't
so
finish it.
all right, so some news broke yesterday before I started recording. Buffalo is interviewing Philip Rivers
I did
for
see
the
that.
head
Yeah,
coaching position. What is going on in Buffalo, Cuzzo?
I
What's
did see that.
happening?
I don't know. I talked about it Thursday. I definitely feel like they disrespected Sean McDermott, right? This is a guy who, since he's come to this organization, done nothing but win for those guys, right? Like 109 victories to 58 total postseason wins. So the guy has a winning record there. Basically, he was the reason that they had they had not been to playoff like since the '90s. And they was there probably his second season going on. They were there every year after that. Like so, I don't know. It's then the owner he out here talking about, oh, the coaches somebody wanted Keon Coleman. We didn't like I mean just talking bad about the players. Like it's just I don't know. It's not a good sight to be in Buffalo right now. And honestly, the only reason that people might want to come coach there is just because you have a Josh Allen type player. But other than that, you really don't have anything to build on in Buffalo. It's not a promising franchise right now. Like you have a
Now
lot to
that with
do
all
with
this going on, that's
you have
just
a
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you have a lot to do to get those guys in position to be competitive in the AFC. This was the best year they had, our best opportunity they had to go win a Super Bowl, and you pooped the bed, right? Defense regular season wasn't playing good enough. They actually showed up in the playoffs, right? I think that was a big reason for Sean McDermott, right? That was a Sean McDermott effect. He's a defensive minded guy, right? But the time you needed your biggest player to come step up and play big moments, he had one opportunity. He had a couple opportunities to do that, but he got it done one time against a hungry young Jacksonville team, a new head coach team, right? They got outplayed, out executed. But when it comes down to the moment to get back to the AFC Championship game, you didn't have no Patrick Mahomes in front of you. You didn't have no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow. You were the most experienced quarterback in the AFC playoffs, as my cousin pointed out. But you didn't get it done. So now, it's Sean McDermott's fault, you know. And then again, the owner talking smack about the players, and it's too much going on down there. And I'm me personally, I'm not with all that. But
I can tell you this
yeah,
right here though. So that firing definitely did do it definitely sent shockwaves to the locker room.
hmm
Whoever comes in, that's who you're compared to for your whole tenure there because you have to win a Super Bowl to not be compared to Sean McDermott at this point right here.
right,
Like
right,
everything you do is going to be, can you get over the hump because Sean McDermott apparently couldn't.
hmm
So, when you just have hiccups with the Buffalo Bills, that's kind of like their franchise legacy is a lot of hiccups. They play their heart out. They've had some highlights of they whole franchise tenure. It's just they had some
hmm
hiccups.
hmm
But yeah, Sean
passionate
McDermott
fan
was a
base.
scapegoat. You said what?
It's a passionate fan base. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna have to win over that fan base because the fan
for
base,
sure.
oh my God, they got a 90,000 signatures on a petition in Buffalo right now from
What is
fans
what,
for
what in
to bring back Sean Dermott.
Mm,
So
wow.
whoever you bring in, they're already gonna be enemy of the state.
hmm
And then you're gonna have to go and try and win over a locker room. They're sitting there probably wondering like what is going on. And then they're questioning probably, okay, well if Sean go after the Super Bowl, people are gonna be looking at Josh Allen. Like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Because whoever you bring in at head coach is going to have an impact on whether this man decides to stay and pushes this out or walk because he's already devastated by the loss. And now you done
Right.
took his head coach away. So
Right.
it's like you got a lot going on. I don't even know if this is a playoff team next year, just from all the drama alone.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This you got a lot to rebuild, and the culture, all that type of stuff. You have a lot to do in Buffalo, and that's not me personally. That's not a hmm, it's not a job that looked interesting to me. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
It's
look
a
at
lot of
Buffalo.
drama.
Look at this house fire. Do I want to walk into this? No, like, oh, I gotta come be a fireman and put this fire out and then rebuild a house. Like, woo,
Then the
that's
owner
tough.
is not helping the situation when he blaming
Right,
the coach, when he blaming the players.
right. That's
He ain't helping the
accountability, man.
situation at all.
Accountability. What did you do to have? Did you give your GM the best opportunity? And then you promoted the guy who, I mean, whatever. Did you put your team in the best position to have the most success this year? Plain and simple. It always start from the head down, right? No matter
Yep.
what we do. So but yeah, this is it's a dumpster fire up in Buffalo. Then people trying to put the pieces together in Baltimore. Like I said, that was breaking news coming out on Thursday during the show. Jesse Minter, right, a
That was a
defensive
good
minded
move.
guy. I think so too. Defense definitely need a revamp, right? And the thing about it, they were talking about all the coaches over the last couple of years. This is the first defensive coach they've had in so long, but the Ravens have always been known for a defense, but not this year. Defense was horrible,
Yep.
So like, what is going to be the focus, right? You got, I mean, and the Ravens is you got weapons everywhere,
Yep.
right? Offense is pretty solid. You got Lamar Jackson, you got the likely, you got oh boy, what's the other guy name?
Zay Flower,
Yeah, Zay Flower, but I'm thinking about the other tight end. I can't think of his name right now.
Mark Andrews.
Andrew, you got Derrick Henry, right? You have weapons there on offense. Now you have a defensive minded coach coming in the building. His first mindset is rebuild the defense, and still try to find ways to put Lamar Jackson in the best position to make plays. Who is his staff going to be? Who is your OC going to be? So forth and so on, right? And yeah, I want to know if Todd Monken did he follow Harbaugh
Nope,
to
he
New
didn't.
York?
He
Okay,
didn't.
well, why the Eagles ain't calling him? Shoot, but yeah, so maybe he
That's a
stay
good
maybe he
question.
maybe he stays with Lamar Jackson, you know what I mean? But yeah, but he needs some familiarity and hats off to him. We need an old guy like a Todd Monken who ain't trying to be no head coach, gonna be our OC. That and I don't need he only gotta be old, but I need somebody who's gonna be able to be consistent, develop Jalen Hurts and stay there for a couple years. Like every year we've had
Yeah.
OC, they've been a head coach or some type of coordinator. We need some consistency with Jalen Hurts, and that's my take. And I'm glad the Eagles taking their time and it's taking 11, 12 days to get an OC because they better hit it on the money because this is a life or death situation for I believe Jalen Hurts' career. I believe Nick Sirianni's job, right? All those type of things. Like we have to for us to have such a great team and not be good, it's not it's unacceptable. And I'm not saying it's Jalen Hurts' fault, but I'm saying like this can be the trajectory of your career. Like you have never had consistency at offensive coordinator, but now if you do and you don't really hit your stride, I think it's progressed in different areas a lot in this game over the years. But if you find consistency, and you don't really improve, make that next step as an elite passer or whatever it may be, um,
Hmm.
this is going to be looked upon. And I think he still has a phenomenal career in front of him and things of that nature. But for the pieces we have, we should be consistently, NFC championship appearances type of thing. And if we
I
don't,
think
if we
that they just need consistency and scheme.
right, I
I
agree.
think that's it right there. They need consistency and scheme. Like being able to adapt to multiple coordinators, that's cool and all when you can put on your resume that you can adapt, but that just messes up the flow of every single year. We have to change how we're doing things. One minute we're a run based team. Next minute we're throwing all the time. Next minute I'm doing a lot of quarterback scrambles this year. They need a consistent scheme. So, like you said, whoever they bring in, they gotta bring him in. They gotta be there a couple years. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna do that, can you at least find somebody that runs a consistent scheme? Like they run similar schemes, so he
Right.
doesn't have to constantly adjust to that, because look at Patrick Mahomes. He really didn't have to adjust that much. And then he's going back to the classics. They brought back Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, be enemy. I couldn't
Yeah.
pronounce the last name last week for none in the world. Be enemy. Yeah. So yeah, you know what I mean. But see, Andy Reid he's the scheme. Andy Reid that's his team. You know what I mean? Like it's his offense. Eric Bieniemy, he did have opportunity in those 4 years to, make adjustment, put things in, call different plays. But at the end of the day, Andy Reid has always been an offensive guy, offensive scheme guy. Like he's always had top tier offenses. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's always, Andy Reid is that engine. But
All right. So what is Nick Sirianni?
he the CEO, man. I mean,
I think
and
he's just a motivator
honestly,
or a strategist.
honestly, he definitely motivated. But honestly, He's always they said this, his scheme has always been implemented. It's just the play callers or the offense coordinators, I guess, kind of took it their direction. I don't know, but his scheme got to go. I'm not saying his scheme can't be successful, but his scheme got to go. Like, because it's too many inconsistencies in there, right? It's not. We don't know if we run first scheme, we'll throw first scheme, and then the throw schemes are horrible. The route concepts are suck. They're too basic, too vanilla. It's not enough, you know. So yeah,
It's too vanilla.
his
No
scheme got to go.
sprinkles.
No, his scheme got to go. So whoever's new OC is, they have to have full reign, full revamp of what this offense is, and then I think that's a big reason as well to why they have to pick an OC who is looking to have stability with the Eagles, because when your system comes here, you can't be 1 year one and done, because then it's gonna be a whole new system, right? That's why it's always been Nick Sirianni's system, because of the success we've had over the years. No OC has ever been there, right? The first year it was Nick Sirianni, then it was Shane Steichen and under Sirianni's system, then Brian Johnson, then Kellen Moore. Now we here last year with Kevin Patullo. It has not been consistent coordinators, but the scheme has always been there. So now this new OC, hey Sirianni, we come to wipe it out, bro. I love you. I'm glad. I want your input to be a part of your team. I want you to tell me what things that you're looking for us to be able to do better this year, and I'm going to make it happen. But I'm going to do it on my terms, you know. So, I don't know if that entails bringing in new position coaches and stuff. Because I think we got pretty solid position coaches. I think we got a good run game coach, uh, wide receiver coach, right? So like I don't know if that's what's the dilemma. I don't know that, but it got to be better, and it got to get changed for sure. So looking forward to it. But on that note, let's get into the ringside coverage. What we got, cousin?
We got Saturday night main event tonight. Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu are going 1-on-1. Cody feels like, Jacob Fatu, you cost me my WWE championship, and this match between us should be for that. And Jacob Fatu is kind of like, nah, this ain't all about that. Then Cody made it personal when he started bringing up his personal life. Jacob Fatu cut the early promo of the year, and kind of established himself, in my opinion, as a top babyface in this company. So I cannot wait for this match. This is a WrestleMania level match in my eyes, Cuzzo. If you can check this out and check out Jacob Fatu, I highly recommend watching this. We
What is on
have
ESPN?
No, man, it's on Peacock.
Peacock.
ESPN next week is gonna be the Royal Rumble, but we'll talk about the Royal Rumble next week. That's gonna be like all next week. We talk about the Royal Rumble. We have the Women's World Tag Team Championships on the line. The champions, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, will take on Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez of the Judgment Day. I personally feel like Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan are gonna lose this match. I feel like WWE has bigger plans for Liv this year, definitely around singles titles. So can't wait to see what that's going to be. We have another classic showdown on the semi-retirement tour. I only say semi because we don't have an exact date of when this man's retiring. We just know that it's going to happen and probably happen soon. But we getting AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. These guys have been rivals across the entire globe, mainly in WWE and in New Japan. But they're going to be facing off for potentially the last time, because AJ Styles, the Georgia owned AJ Styles, is retiring this year. We don't know when, but he does have a retirement match, or I'm sorry, a career match coming up at the Royal Rumble against Gunther. And then we have a fatal four-way where the winner gets to take on WWE champion Drew McIntyre. We have Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams versus Damian Priest. Personally, as much as my girl does not, she detests Sami Zayn basically being an underdog for the past 20 years, and she's like, you can't be an underdog for 20 years. He's probably going to win this match and go on to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia as the underdog and the overhyped favorite. He's going to get all the energy in the building, which I don't think he's going to win that match. I don't think it's going to happen just now for him to win a championship. But yeah, winner of this match take on Drew McIntyre, and I think it's going to be Sami Zayn. Like I said, it's Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams versus Damian Priest. Also, besides Saturday night's main event coming up, which you're going to watch on Peacock, I believe at 8 o'clock they're going to be in Toronto today or tonight. Besides that, we do have new WWE World Tag Team Champions. MFT, My Family Tree, one of the funniest names I've ever heard, because that sounds like a kindergarten project. But Solo Sokoa and his family tree, no offense, Tomatonga and all y'all, I love y'all, man. It is kind of funny. But I got another name for him, but I can't say it on the show. I'm so sorry. But
Yeah.
it,
I got a
yeah, I
dolphin
can't.
sensor. You want to say it, and I can sense you over. But
Yeah, you got a dolphin. Yeah, we got to tie that off. Oh, you ain't gonna be able to censor me over there, probably. Oh no, but yeah, MFT defeated the YS6 and they are the new tag team champions on SmackDown. Outside that, across the globe in Japan, we have new never openweight champions. TMDK lost the belt to Bishamon, which is Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto, and they also have Bolton Oleg on their team. I personally can't wait to see Bishamon versus Knockout Brothers. I need this match now because Knockout Brothers is becoming probably my favorite tag team in the world, and they're just so young, and I like their style.
okay, those are young lions you were talking about, right?
Yes, man. Boy, the Knockout Brother. They got the whole aura, cuz I'm gonna see you a video of them. It's like they got the whole aura. They got this down pat. And then they're taking tag team wrestling and they're bringing it back to main event light in New Japan. And I like that. They just said, hey, we're the tag team champions. We want the main event spotlight. We're gonna come out and sit at commentary and watch and see who's gonna be the number one contenders for our belts. When you got the number one contenders match for the tag team titles, closing out your show rather than the championship match like the never open weight, I feel like that's a shift right there. That is a big shift. And Knockout Brothers is really over in Japan right now, even though they just got back from excursion. I feel like they're knocking it out the park. I'm at the point now where I don't believe that WWE has the best training facility in the world for professional wrestling. It's definitely New Japan because they can build talent just as good, if not better, than WWE. I'm looking at guys. I mean, shoot, their main champion is Yoda Tsuji. He just got back from excursion 2 years ago. These guys know how to build talent. And also, speaking of them, Shota Umino and Yuya Romero in a classic, very, very classic, probably one of my top matches for 2026 so far. They had a classic tag team match against Taichi and Tomohiro Ishii, number one contenders match to face the Knockout Brothers. That match was very good. I'll give it 5 stars in my book. Anybody that has New Japan World, I recommend that you go back and you watch that. But that's everything I have right now. Next week, I have a little bit more about AEW. I'm trying to figure out what exactly they have going on, but I think I got it down packed. Plus, my boy Kenny Omega is back in his prime again, so everybody should be scared on that roster because when he's in his prime, nobody's beating him.
So make sure y'all go check out my cousin, Just Unconventional Podcast. Like he said, he got a wrestling episode dropping Monday, so I'm pretty sure he'll have more insight to New Japan, AEW, WWE, all that type of insight. Like he said, the Royal Rumble is coming next week. Looking forward to that. So yeah, man, I've really been enjoying this wisdom, wrestling wisdom journey that my cousin has been giving here and insight to the rest of the
Also,
world.
me and just dropping little hints. Cause I know you ain't finished the episode. I ain't dropping everything from the episode. I think there's some stuff on there you might like because I talked about John Harbaugh and everything. But me and Jazz are actually working on dropping. She said one. I'm going to talk her into two. We're gonna have 2 episodes a month where she wants to sit down with me and talk about professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here telling her, I'm like, oh snap, you sure you want to do that? She's like, all right. She said, cool, yeah, I want to do it. I'm like, okay, so just be on the lookout for that. I'm not apologizing for anything she has to say about AEW. I'm just letting you guys know that right now. I'm not apologizing for nothing that she has to say about AEW. If you want to do the whole anti-AEW crap, you can do all that all you want, because guess what? Money ain't an issue. I'm definitely going to their shows, but they're just watching it on TV isn't the best of their time. But like I said, not apologizing for anything that she has to say. Don't cry about it. Don't stay out, leave all that stuff online.
All right, looking forward to it. Yeah, I did hear that actually because it was about in the first 5-6 minutes of the episode. So I am looking forward to go check it out. So make sure y'all go check out my cousin newest episode just dropped yesterday, Just Unconventional Podcast. Looking forward to it. Moving on to the NBA season.
We got some games today.
Yeah, we do got a pretty solid games.
Boy, I'm about to be locked in our house for like a day or two, and I got all this sports. Let's go.
Right, my one of the guys that we playing the game with yesterday, they were like, "Man, what if this snowstorm come and then knock out all the power, and we can't watch games on Sunday, the NFL games?" I said, man, them folks, boy, we have a ride, boy.
Man, look here, the weather machine ain't gonna do that. They ain't
Right.
trying to miss that money.
Not the weather machine. That's funny. So back to Thursday's matchups in the NBA, we had a dominating performance by the Charlotte Hornets. They whooped on the Magic 124-97.
Bro, you've been big on the Charlotte Hornets for like the past week or so, dog.
Tell you, man, them boys, they up and coming, man. They up and
That
coming,
might be
cuz.
your team, dog. You know that might be your team,
Man,
man.
I might have to go to the Hornets, man. I might have to go be a Charlotte Hornets fan.
Don't just say you right there, dog. You
They
already
got a
know
squad,
they
though.
rebuilding. You know, they not
Yeah.
hyping you up saying we trying to do this and then go and do that. They actually
and
draft the best available players with their draft picks.
Talk about them, cuz. Talk about
I'm
them,
just
man.
saying, man. You right there, dog. You ain't even got to go
Hey,
far,
man.
and then you can
Right.
still be a fan of Ant Edwards. No,
Yeah, right. I might have to, my cousin, but you a good influencer, man. You a boy. Hey, I might have to go ahead and be a Hornets fan because them boys up and coming. So by the time they get on that championship run, I won't say I'm a bandwagon. I'll be there.
Nope, you already got the hat and everything.
Oh, well, yeah. All right. The 76ers defeated the Rockets in overtime 128-122. The Nuggets defeated the Wizards 107-97. I'm trying to see if Trae Young has played yet.
I don't think he's played yet.
He hasn't played yet. He's still
He's
injured.
not going to play a lot. They don't really plan on playing him a lot this season right here.
Right.
They kind of gearing him up for next year.
Right. I mean, that makes sense. Because the Hornet, not the Wizards. The Wizards are not going anywhere. They're not, no success this year. So it's definitely better to get his contract done and have him healthy for the new season. The Mavericks defeated the Warriors 123-115. The Bulls defeated the Timberwolves 120-115. The Spurs defeated the Jazz 126-109. The Clippers defeated the Lakers 112-104. And we had the Trailblazers defeat the Heat 127-110.
Hey, cuz before you continue on, I just want to point out, I just found out that Antetokounmpo may miss 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep, it was, the game they played last night against the Nuggets. He injured himself. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a ploy to, get him on the trade block. I don't know what's going on. Like even with the Hawks, Zachary Richardson hasn't seen the roster. Kristaps Porzingis has played 17 games this year.
Yeah.
But that's the Hawks thing. You know, what I mean,
I personally don't think like when you started the whole thing with not you, but when they started the whole thing of Trae Young, that's initiating in my eyes a fire sale. So they initiating this fire sale. I can see Zachary Richardson going now. I can see Kristaps Porzingis if them trying to get him out of here if they can.
They gonna just release him because nobody wants him, cousin.
Okay, well then they'll just release him. But the goal for the future right now is to build around Jalen Johnson. That's the goal.
So that's the goal, to build around Jalen Johnson. What position are you going with the number 1 pick then?
Oh my God, I wish I could tell you because I can't. I don't even know because the Hawks will go the opposite direction.
I'm asking you though, if you at the top right now and you say you want to build around Jalen Johnson is a stretch forward. He's a stretch forward. He a guy who can bring the ball up the court, score. He almost averaged a triple double, but he got 10 plus games this season with triple doubles. You know what I mean? So like, what position are you going to?
Shooting guard or center?
Yeah, okay. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm at least thinking center. Build out. You know what I mean? Because you got
the only reason I say shooting guard is because we need somebody else that can create shots on their own. And some of these guys coming out of college, like VJ Edgecombin and Cooper Flag, they're stepping into the league. They even got the kid down in San Antonio and the kid in Utah. But they're stepping into the league and they already can give you like 15.
Con like that. Y'all be sleeping on
Con. Yeah, like you got guys that are coming out of college now, they can step in and they can give you that 15, 16 a year. Not 15, 16 a year, but 15, 16 in that rookie year. They can give you that. So we need somebody that can come in and they can create their own shots.
Right.
At a high level, not an inconsistent level like we get from Dyson. And Nikhil Alexander, he has his moments.
He's inconsistent. I've been saying that, like, inconsistent. It's like he do better off the bench. But I'm thinking even point guard. A real point guard or a Kay Cunningham size point guard, like somebody that we can make strides in, because you can get a good center. I really want Santos Surreal from Georgia. I think dude is a guy who's a traditional center. He's a much younger Clint Capella style player right? He's physical, down below, play good defense. Lead, have many blocks out of Georgia. That's who they really should have got after certain time. They got Ace Newell. But I mean, so I think
But
the Hawks.
I didn't see him on the roster. They sent him back down to the G League again.
He came up yesterday. He was on the roster yesterday, but I don't know if he didn't get in the game.
I get tired of these developmental projects, but first
Yeah,
round picks should
he didn't
not
play.
be like the first. Oh my god, like them first 15 picks or so should not be developmental. But the question, because I got a question for you, because I've been thinking about the fact that Jalen Johnson is a point forward.
Yeah.
How do you bring in what do you do with a point guard when you got a point forward? Because it seems like the ball's going to be in his hand a lot. So it's like, what do you do with a point guard? What does the point guard do at this point? Do you just have two shooting guards?
Is that going to be consistent enough to win though? You see what I'm saying?
That's the thing.
Is that going to be consistent enough to win? If you can get him involved in the offense and still get another point guard involved in the offense, that's going to make it better. It's going to make it better. Like he's a stretch forward. If you could spread, he's able to. You're able to spread the floor with him. So now you get a good center who can actually make plays. And he get 1-on-1s. That opens the floors up for shooters. Right? Jalen Johnson is a guy you need somebody else to have the ball in their hand when he can't do anything. But then also you have threats on the outside, the perimeter who can shoot the ball. And you have a center. Basketball is an inside-out game, right? You have to force guys inside to get shots open on the outside, right? Unless you got a Steph Curry who could just create shots on the outside. But other than that, the NBA is an inside-out game, right? Just like the old basketball. They didn't shoot as many threes, but they focus more on the paint. So when guys crab, when you had a Shaq in the paint, you needed 2-3 guys down there to stop him, or not, he was gonna have 50 points, But then that open shooters up will give guys shots. So I just think honestly, keep Jalen on the outside, because he can create space, he can get to the lane, he can, get dunks, he can make threes, right? He can facilitate all that, but they're not going to be successful of him they're constantly relying on him to do that. If you've been waiting for the right moment to share your story, your ideas, or your God-given voice with the world, this is it. Riverside is the all-in-one studio built for creators who want professional-grade production, effortless publishing, and a smooth, stress-free recording experience. Whether you're launching a podcast, recording interviews, or creating video content, Riverside gives you everything you need to sound and look like a pro, even from home. So, if you've been thinking about starting a podcast, leveling up your content, or finally stepping into the calling on your life, Riverside is where you begin. Use my link to sign up and start creating with clarity, confidence, and excellence. Your voice matters, and Riverside helps you share it with the world. Right? Look at
relying on him to get triple doubles.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Like, look at the stat line for last night against the Suns. He had 39 minutes, 23 points, 18 rebounds, 9 assists. What else did the starters do? The only other starter that had some type of consistency with him was Onyeka Okongwu. He had 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So the most rebounds are coming. Jalen Johnson is doing everything. How long is that going to
him? I don't need him getting 18 rebounds. Like
Exactly.
This stat stuff, and it's cool and all to an extent, but like I don't need you getting 18 rebounds. You're out rebounding the center.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So that's not going to sustain. That's not going to sustain, because when you're going up against big guys, real deal centers, and you're not able to get boards, your 18 boards turning to 7, 8 boards, we're getting out rebound. And that was a big piece of the game earlier this year. They were getting out rebound. They were losing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like I said, I think they need to go in, out. You could find different guards around the league who will be free agents and stuff to put pieces around him. But if they're going to go in a direction, I think they need to get a taller point guard. Average 6'5", 6'6" type point guard, or get a center who can do the inside out game and put shooters around them. I think that's the only way the Hawks will be successful in my eyes. But we shall see. But for Friday's matchups, we had the Hawks defeat the Suns 110-103. The Rockets defeated the Pistons 111-104. The Celtics survived double overtime against the Nets 130-126. The Cavaliers defeated the Kings 123-118. The Pelicans defeated the Grizzlies 133-127. The Pacers with an upset over the Thunder 117-114. The Nuggets defeated the Bucks 102-100, and the Raptors defeated the Trailblazers 110-98. As my cousin was alluding to today, we have a lot of key matchups today on ABC throughout the time frames. The Hornets and the Wizards will be playing today at noon. Then the 76ers and the Knicks will match off today at 3 p.m. on ABC. Followed by that matchup, we'll have a matchup out of the Western Conference between the Timberwolves and the Warriors at 5:30 p.m. on ABC. The Magic will be hosting the Cavaliers later on tonight. The Celtics on the road against the Bulls. Tonight at 8:30 p.m. on ABC, we have the Mavericks hosting the Lakers, and then the
Cooper
Heat will,
Flag versus Luka Doncic.
right, and then the Heat will be going up against the Jazz. So yeah, looking forward to some key matchups again, as my cousin pointed out. The 76ers Knicks, right? That Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, right? The Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brunson. Then you got the Warriors Timberwolves game. You got the Anthony Edwards, Steph Curry, right? You got who else you got over there? Those guys. Julius Randle, Draymond Greens, right? You got these different matchups for the games later on tonight. And then Lakers Mavericks game, right? LeBron, Luka, Austin Rivers, going up against the Kyrie. Kyrie playing this year yet?
Kyrie ain't played yet.
So I thought I heard his name yet.
Oh,
Well, you got
no, not yet, boy. Yeah, that's going to be a trip right there.
You got PJ Washington. You got, all those type of guys over there for the Mavericks. So looking forward to see that game later on today. Yeah, you got Cooper Flag. Who else we got out there? Derek Lively. Is he on the court?
I don't know,
Klay
Derek Lively, I
Thompson.
think he's been playing this year.
Clay,
Clay played.
I forgot they got D'Angelo Russell. Right, you got Klay Thompson, PJ Washington. That sort of the Mavericks got a pretty solid team, but it's going to be a big test against the Lakers, and the Lakers still trying to find their stride as well. So all these games should
Yeah.
be pretty good today on ABC, kicking off at 3 p.m. Looking forward to it. Then for Sunday's matchups in the NBA, we got the Pistons hosting the Kings, the Nuggets going up against the Grizzlies, the Bucks hosting the Mavericks, the Raptors going up against the Thunder, the Spurs hosting the Pelicans, the Heat going up against the Suns, and the Clippers hosting the Nets. And I really appreciated, what's my boy name? Victor Wembanyama, speaking about how he wants to bring competitiveness to the All-Star game, right?
Yeah.
That's what we need, and we need that, and we need that. And then Kevin Garnett, I saw this clip. He made a point the other day where he was talking about LeBron James. He did that. He took the competitiveness out of the All-Star game when Kobe Bryant tried to one-on-one him, and then he passed the ball or something like that. So like, but Victor Wembanyama is the type of player who can definitely spark that competitiveness again. Because if they don't be competitive against him, he gonna have 60 points on you. He gonna be dunking all over everybody, and I want to know how long they're gonna take that. So.
And cause I'll say that Kevin got a point with that. I remember there was years where KD was begging for someone to go 1-on-1. He was trying to get LeBron to go 1-on-1. Now let me tell you what I don't like about the whole 1-on-1 thing. LeBron didn't do the 1-on-1 with Kobe back then, but then tried to do it in Kobe retirement year. Come on, man. Come on. But I like what Victor is doing. He said if nobody else want to try hard, then cool. I'll go out here and I'll do it by myself. That makes me want to watch the All-Star game. Cause I'm like, everybody else want to be lackadaisical, and he go out here and drop 60 points.
For sure. I'm gonna be locked in for sure, because that's what we need. We need those type of, we need that type of energy, back with the NBA for sure. Like I said, especially coming up with the USA versus the world type of thing. That's gonna be, that's gonna bring another notch as well. So looking forward to it, and be on the lookout for the full All-Star schedule and All-Star game plan as we get the information, we'll bring it to you all. Moving on to the Unrivaled League. Unrivaled League results from Friday last night, January 23rd. We had the Miss defeat the Rose Basketball Club 89-71, and we had the Phantom defeat the Vinyl 78-69. Current standings right now in the Unrivaled League is as follows. Let's get it pulled up here. So we have the Laces Basketball Club at the number 1 seed, followed by the Phantom and the Mist. They both have a 4-2 record. The Breeze, number 4. The Rose Basketball Club is at number 5. The Vinyl is the 6th seed. The Hive and the Lunar Owls are at the bottom, both with only 1 win. So they'll be looking to get more wins this week as they face off against competitive teams. The Lunar Owls will be going up against the Breeze, the number 4 seed team, and then the Hive will be facing the number 1 team, the Laces, tonight as well. So tonight at 7:30 p.m. on True TV, The Lunar Owl will be going up against the Breeze. And then at 8:45 p.m. tonight on True TV, the Hive will be going up against the Laces. Then for Sunday's matchups in the Unrivaled League at 1 p.m. tomorrow on True TV, we'll have the Vinyl going up against the Mist, and then we'll have the Phantom going up against the Rose Basketball Club. The Vinyl and Mist matchup will be at 1 p.m. tomorrow on True TV, and then the Phantom Rose matchup will be at 2:15 p.m. tomorrow on True TV. And then to wrap up the week on Monday in the Unrivaled League, we'll have the Lunar Owls going up against the Hive. So the bottom two teams in the Unrivaled League will face off tomorrow on Monday night at 7:30 p.m. on TNT or True TV. And then we will have the Laces and the Breeze, one of the top four teams, or two of the top four teams, excuse me, will face off Monday night at 8:45 p.m. on TNT or True TV. So I've really been I've been really interested in the Unrivaled League this year. The Rose Basketball Club, they're on a 3-game losing streak, and the Laces Basketball Club, they're on a 3-game winning streak. So it has definitely been a turn of the tables for a lot of different teams this year, and I'm looking forward to the continued success and growth on the Unrivaled League. So, and they still have pretty good viewings and ratings even on the championship game, right? You know, they have matchups the same day, same area as the college football playoff championship, and their ratings and their numbers and their attendance still did pretty good. So a lot
That's
of people
good.
are really enjoying the Unrivaled League. Myself as well, and I'm definitely gonna do better to make sure I put my eyes on some games this year. So
I'm
looking
about to
forward
be
to it.
locked in the house for the next couple of days, man. Just go just watch some highlights. Hey,
Right,
man, all I see is paid Butler going off.
right, yeah. Shawty a bucket. You know what I mean? So, but
Paid buckets.
Paige buckets, right? So moving on to the National Hockey League. So National Hockey League results from this week from Thursday and Fridays as follows.
Now, Cuzzo, before you
Yes,
get
sir.
into this with the National Hockey League,
Yes, sir.
they have a series coming up where they playing in all these different venues. It's outside venues. Did it
Okay.
start yet? I know they got a matchup coming up like February 6th, like on a Friday night. I'm gonna try to catch that because I think that's really cool. Like,
Okay.
did it start yet?
It said the Stadium Series will feature Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Boston Bruins in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Stadium, February 1st. It said it'll be the marking the first game held in Florida. I said so it's that game, and then they will have games in. Let's see here. I don't know. That's the only one I see right now. So maybe that might be the only one they got this year, and that'll be the first game in Florida that's outside. So it's gonna take a lot of doing, especially Tampa, Florida. Not too cold, not too hot right now,
I'll be
but
tuned in.
yeah, for
I
sure.
think
Yeah,
that's interesting.
that's gonna be good. Yeah. So, and the other game that was played was the New York Rangers. They defeated the Florida Panthers. So it said they played that January 2nd in Miami. So I'm confused. So
Interesting.
I don't know. But the Stadium Series, okay, so this is different. So not the outside gut. The Stadium Series is different. So this is their first time, I guess, bringing it to a NFL stadium, like a stadium. They always play in arenas.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
now they're playing in the stadium. So that's gonna be solid. Looking forward to that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up, cuz. And we have to try to find us a hockey league guru, kind of give us more insight to what things
That
to look
would be
for,
interesting right there.
what type of hype, is warranted to matchups and things of that nature. Because I just do it for the love of hockey. For it's an international sport, and but we would love to have somebody come here and have more insight and that's way more informative for hockey than we are.
Oh, I'm
So if
pretty
you
sure you
like
can find somebody.
if you're interested in joining the sports huddle and being a hockey guru, please let us know. Comment it. Email me gratefulgabpodcast@gmail.com. Whatever it would be, we would love to be able to reach out and pick your brain about hockey and have your insight be brought to here to the platform. So looking forward to it. But results from Thursdays as follows: we had the Bruins defeat the Golden Knights 4-3. We had the Sabres defeat the Canadians 4-2. The Blue Jackets defeated the Stars 1-0. The Blackhawks defeated the Hurricanes 4-3. The Predators defeated the Senators 5-3. The Penguins defeated the Oilers 6-2. The Panthers defeated the Jets 2-1. And we had the Wild defeat the Red Wings 4-3. From last night's matchups in the National Hockey League, we had the Golden Knights defeat the Maple Leafs 6-3. The Blues fell to the Stars 3-2. We had the Flyers defeat the Avalanche 7-3. The Lightning defeated the Blackhawks 2-1. The Devils defeated the Canucks 5-4. The Capitals defeated the Flames 3-1. The Ducks defeated the Kraken 4-2, and the Sharks defeated the Rangers 3-1. For today's matchups kicking off at 1 p.m. on ESPN Plus, we got the Islanders hosting the Sabres, the Mammoth going up against the Predators. Tonight at 7 p.m. on the National Hockey League Network, we got the Bruins hosting the Canadiens. We got the Hurricanes going up against the Senators. The Blue Jackets hosting the Lightning. The Red Wings going up against the Jets. The Blues hosting the Kings. The Panthers going up against the Wild. And the Oilers will be hosting the Capitals later on tonight. For Sunday's matchups in the Hockey League, I got to try to get a short word for that. They call it something else, but we'll try to, the hockey guru will help us out. At 1:30 p.m. tomorrow on the National Hockey League Network, we got the Maple Leafs hosting the Avalanche. We have the Devils going up against the Kraken. We got the Senators hosting the Golden Knights. We got the Penguins going up against the Canucks. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on the National Hockey League Network, we got the Blackhawks hosting the Panthers, and we got the Ducks going up against the Flames. So be on the lookout for the National Hockey League as it continues. I believe their All-Star break is coming up here shortly as well over the next couple of months. We got spring training for baseball around the corner. Again, the Olympics kick off next month. So we got a lot of things to cover this year. The FIFA World Cup right now. So I'm excited. I'm excited for all the sports that 2026 is bringing in front of us, and all the blessing that Jehovah is going to give us as well throughout this year and through these days. So looking forward to it. Make sure y'all pull back up here to stay in tune and stay locked in on sports to come and breaking news, all that type of information as the season continues. So looking forward to it. Wrapping up the sports order today with college basketball. NCAA men's and women's top 25. We had some pretty solid games in the NCAA basketball scene this week. Starting off with the
I
women.
saw South Carolina.
Starting off with the women's, let's get to this Thursday matchup. So Thursday, we had some pretty solid games. We had some dominating performances, and we had some upsets. So getting into it, number 7 Michigan absolutely did the latter, dominated. They defeated Rutgers 94-60. We had a top 10 ranked matchup that went to overtime in the Big Ten. Number 10 Iowa defeated number 15 Maryland 85-78. We had an upset out of Tennessee. Number 17 Tennessee defeated number 11 Kentucky 60-58. We had a dominating performance by the number 1 team in the country, the UConn Huskies. They dominated Georgetown 83-42. We had an upset out of Oklahoma. Number 16 Oklahoma defeated the number 2 team in the country, the South Carolina Gamecocks 94-82 in overtime. I mean, what a dominating performance to pull away like that in overtime.
Yep.
94-82. Number 5 Vanderbilt, they continue their perfect season with a dominating win over Auburn 81-53. Number 18 Ole Miss defeated Missouri 82-61. Number 12 Ohio State defeated Indiana 81-67. Number 13 Michigan State defeated USC 74-68, and number 6 LSU dominated Texas A&M 98-54. For today's matchups kicking off on the SEC Network Plus, we got number 11 Kentucky hosting Georgia, the Lady Dogs, with a great win last week over Ole Miss. We got number 8 Louisville hosting Boston College today at 11 a.m. on an ACC Extra. Number 1 UConn going up against Seton Hall. Number 20 Princeton going up against Brown. Number 9 TCU going up against UCF. Number 24 Nebraska hosting Illinois. Number 21 Duke going up against Pitt at 4 p.m. on an ACC Extra. Number 19 Texas Tech going up against Utah. And number 22 West Virginia is going up against BYU. For Sunday's matchups in the ladies in the NCAA Women's Top 25, a lot of these games are kind of up in the air. I know right now for sure the number 4 Texas Arkansas game is postponed because of the weather. But then we have number 7 Michigan hosting USC tomorrow. We had a top 15 ranked matchup in the Big Ten. Number 10 Iowa will be hosting number 12 Ohio State tomorrow at 2 p.m. on Peacock. Number 16 Oklahoma trying to continue their dominance in the SEC on the road against Auburn tomorrow at 2 p.m. on the SEC Network. Number 25 Washington going up against Rutgers. Number 2 South Carolina hosting a very hungry, very hot Vanderbilt team right now in a top 5 ranked matchup. South Carolina tomorrow at 3 p.m. So the Gamecocks are looking to not lose 2 straight, and the Vanderbilt Commodores are not looking to get their first loss of the season. So that's going to be a huge game tomorrow at 3 p.m. on ESPN.
Yeah.
Then for sure. And then number 23, Alabama hosting Mississippi State. And number 3, UCLA is going up against Northwestern. So that's going to be a huge matchup tomorrow. One of the most anticipated of the weekend, that Vanderbilt South Carolina game. That's going to be good. That's going to be a good one. That's going to really show Vanderbilt that they are the team that they have been all year, winning 20 straight games in a row. That'll be a great test for them to really, see what type of team they are going up against a hungry South Carolina team coming off a big loss. So be on the lookout for that. Moving on to the NCAA men's top 25. From Friday night, we had some matchups in the top 25. Number 24, St. Louis defeated St. Bonaventure 97-62. And we had number 3, Michigan defeat Ohio State 74-62. For today's matchups in the NCAA men's top 25, at 12 p.m. on the CW network, we got number 5, Duke hosting Wake Forest. At 1 p.m. on the SEC network, we got the hungry Georgia Bulldogs ranked at number 21 on the road against Texas. We got number 7, Nebraska going up against Minnesota at 12 p.m. on FS1. We got number 10, Michigan State hosting Maryland at 12 p.m. on CBS. We got a top 25 ranked ACC matchup. Number 14, Virginia will be hosting number 22, North Carolina at 12 p.m. on ESPN2. Number 15, Vanderbilt going up against Mississippi State. We got number 18, Clemson going up against Georgia Tech at 12 p.m. on the ACC network. Number 2, UConn hosting Villanova at 12:30 p.m. today on Fox. Number 1, Arizona hosting West Virginia at 2 p.m. on CBS. We have a top 15 ranked matchup in the Big 12. Number 12, Texas Tech will be hosting number 6, Houston at 2 p.m. today on ESPN. Number 23, Louisville hosting Virginia Tech at 2:15 p.m. today on the CW network. We got a top 15 ranked matchup in the Big 10 between number 4, Purdue, and number 11, Illinois at 3 p.m. on Fox. Number 9, Iowa State going up against Oklahoma State. Number 16, Florida hosting Auburn at 4 p.m. today on ESPN. Number 20, Arkansas hosting LSU at 5 p.m. on the SEC network. Number 13, BYU hosting Utah at 5:30 p.m. on Fox. Number 8, Gonzaga hosting San Francisco. Number 19, Kansas going up against Kansas State at 8 p.m. tonight on Fox. And then tonight in the SEC, number 17, Alabama will be hosting Tennessee at 8:30 p.m. on ESPN. So yeah, be on the lookout. That's all the top 25 ranked matchups today. No wonder there was so many games being broadcasted early, because there are no top 25 matchups for tomorrow. But games will kick off on Monday. Be on the lookout for the big games Monday in the ACC and in the Big 12. Monday night at 7 p.m. on ESPN, you have number 5 Duke hosting number 23 Louisville, and then at Monday night on ESPN at 9 p.m., number 13 BYU will be hosting number 1 Arizona. So still a battle of the undefeateds in the what's this thing called? The NCAA men's. You have Nebraska undefeated, Arizona still undefeated. Who else do you have undefeated? At Miami, Ohio's undefeated, and you have another team.
That's all I see in the top 25.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah. There's some other teams too that are not in the top 25 that's still undefeated, but those 3 teams in the top 25 are undefeated. So thank y'all for being here today. My cousin, Papa Dennis, appreciate you being in the studio today. It's always a pleasure. Make sure y'all go check out my cousin, Just Unconventional Podcast. Continue his journey in fatherhood and potentially being a husband one day. It's coming. Those
I'm
type of
working
things.
on it.
That's right. It's coming together. And yeah, man, it's been a pleasure to be here with you today, and go back and forth, talk sports. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, we don't get to have these blessings without the love that Jehovah God gives us. So always give him honor and glory. Let's continue to do our best to worship in spirit and truth each day in our life, and give all thanks to God. So, cousin, I love you. Y'all be
Hey,
blessed.
Cuzzo, let me tell you one more thing before
Right.
you
Yes, sir.
before you go. I just wanted to put this out here. I know we're a long way away from this, but you know who's dominating the transfer portal right now, right?
Indiana, I've seen it already, cousin.
Oh no, LSU, dog.
LSU. Okay. They
Yeah,
got number 1. They got
LSU
number
is.
1 right now.
Last time I checked, they got number 1. They got like 3 5-star recruits, 11 4-star recruits. Got like over 40 people coming in from the portal.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's something that we can be able to add into next week. Looking at the teams who improved the most in the offseason for NCAA football for sure. So we can add that to the segment next week, because college football is still college
number
football.
1 in the nation, according to 24/7 Sports. Number 1 in the nation in the transfer portal right now.
It better be worth it. So, boy,
It got to be worth it.
you know, it's worth it for him because I mean, he got a lot of targets on his back. So,
Yep, and you
only
got
way
to
you
go
get
and play Ole Miss next year too.
right, only way you get them targets off your back, you gonna win championships. So, if it's for nothing, if you getting all these guys for nothing, it ain't gonna make no sense. So, looking forward
Mhm.
to it. But yeah, man, appreciate you being here today, cuz. I love you. We love y'all, and it's been a pleasure. Until next time, peace.
Peace, peace.